everyone, and welcome to The Quack. My name is Mary, and this is the audio adaptation to my blog, The Quack, where I tell facepalm moments and muddled observations. Guess what? Last quack was the 100th quack. Can you believe it? Gosh, it really has gone too far. It is a hobby, and I really enjoy it. I just want to say thank you if you've been listening for 100 quacks, or even just one quack. Thank you. It has been listened to in over 81 countries, which is quite funny. But this week's quack is about best friends meeting boyfriends and approving of boyfriends, and also how you try to impress your partner's friends. I didn't give the best impression, which we'll hear about. This quack also has the return of Sausage. If you are a quacker, you would know Sausage is my best friend. She lives in America. She came over to visit, and it was on this visit that she had a proper sit down with my boyfriend, and that's what inspired this quack. What I don't talk about is after the meal, we went round all the designer shops together, like the Chanel, the Louis Vuitton. We can't afford anything, and it kind of makes me nervous going into shops like that, because I'm like, well, I can't afford anything and I'm not going to buy anything. I'm going to waste everyone's time. But Sausage laughs at me because she's one of these people that, well, she uses a shop as a shop. I remember in France, we went into this little tiny old man's shoe shop, and she tried on like at least 3 pairs of shoes. All the shoe paper was everywhere. The man was going back and forth in the back room, coming back with her shoe size. She tried them all on, and she was like, thank you, got up and like left. And I was mortified. And I would just feel obligated to buy. Anyway, that's our big difference. We have a lot of differences, but that's one of them. I've been watching Margot's Got Money Troubles, the series. That's so good. I love the look of it. Like, they've just done it a really cool way, and all the clothes, all the lighting, all the set, it's just amazing. So if you haven't watched that, it's on Apple. So yes, I've also been carrying on my memoir. My friends are so sick of my memoirs. I'm currently with Trevor Noah at the moment, memoir, which is obviously very funny and well written, and I really enjoying that. And I'm reading Joan Didion's The Year of Magical Thinking, which is a very different vibe. But so that's me. Just remember, you can follow me at Mary Noonan Writes on Instagram, where I will be posting updates on my book that's coming out in September, Bad Dates Club, which you can pre-order now. September the 10th, it will be with you. But if you pre-order now, it'll just be very organised of you, and you won't have to think about it again. Okay, let's start this quack. Here it is. Do your friends like your boyfriend? It was Saturday lunchtime, and I was walking into a petrol green Italian restaurant called Giaconi's. I saw linen jackets. I saw people wearing sunglasses indoors. I saw bright orange salmon with champagne. With me was my best friend Sausage, who was in town from America. Today, she was officially meeting my boyfriend. I had been with Roman for almost a year, and they hadn't yet had the chance to get to know each other. We've all been there. We've met someone, and now we need our friend's approval. Do you think he's okay? We'd ask when they go to the bathroom. You hope your friends will be full of praise. Otherwise, life gets awkward. You want your friends to love your boyfriend, but not too much. There had been a couple of times when I thought a man was going to be my next big thing. But then I brought him to meet my friends, and suddenly I noticed parts of him that I hadn't seen before. Did he always talk this much about cryptocurrency? God, he's not funny. I thought he was funny. Is it weird that he brought his mum to this? He really likes Gary Lineker. Why does he keep touching my thigh? Stop touching my thigh! Those are strange shoes. I was quietly confident that Roman would be okay. He had survived the family and most of my friends so far. It was just now the bestie left. Sausage. Roman was at the table when we arrived, and thankfully he hadn't taken the seat in the middle. The importance of seating arrangements for this situation should not be taken lightly. There wasn't an awkward kissing scenario where one goes one way or kisses the wrong part of the face, just a hug. Nice. We settled. We ordered coffee. I ordered matcha with no milk. It arrived looking suspiciously milky. I asked the waitress if it had milk in it. She said it didn't. Sausage and Roman both agreed that it definitely had milk. Roman asked on my behalf if we could get matcha without milk. I got my matcha without milk. Meanwhile, the conversation was flowing pleasantly. We went from work troubles to politics to making fun of me. The art of bonding your partner with your friend is to be the butt of all jokes. In other words, it was going very smoothly. Unlike the first time I met Roman's friends. Roman has many friends who can be divided into categories: home friends, university friends, first job friends, and second job friends. These categories stay fiercely separate, like chemicals that could explode if mixed. I personally think that if we mix groups more often, then there probably wouldn't be so much need for dating apps, but hey ho. I first met the second job friends. They were the edgy ones. They worked in post-production, wore vintage denim jackets and accessories, and listened to bands with funny names. We met in a pizza shed in Hackney to watch the final of the Women's Euros. There was a long table filled with unknown faces, some smiling, others not. Hi! I got a slice of pizza, a glass of rosé, and sat on the end. I thought in my 30s I would be relaxed in these situations. It wasn't my first rodeo after all, and yet I felt quite wooden, like I'd just come out of lockdown and hadn't socialised with people for a long time. There was an Australian girl. I spoke to her about Vegemite. I spoke to her boyfriend about his camping weekend. It was going okay, until Roman's other friend, pretty and full of spirit, was telling me about her night out. I went to Soho House. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a member there because it's just full of idiots, she said. I drank some wine. You have a Soho House membership, don't you, Mary? Roman said, with a jokey nudge. I laughed very loudly. Roman! I nudged back, harder. I hated him. The friend tried to wiggle herself out of it. Well, obviously I didn't mean like, no, it's fine, seriously, I said, and then explained myself. I'm only a member of one house, the farmhouse, because it's nearby. I really only use it for the spa, really. I cancelled my membership shortly after this conversation. They emailed me to let me know that they had decided I was allowed into their establishment for another year, and that the fee had increased. I didn't like this tone, so I cancelled. No idiots here. So the Lionesses went on to win the Euros and the Hackney shed erupted. Who wants a shot? One of Roman's friends yelled. Yay! Everybody went. Everybody except me. I should have just said, sorry, I don't do spirits, just rosé and champagne. It would have been over and done with, but I didn't say a word. A tray of tequila floated over. After a countdown from 3, they all took a shot. I sat and smiled like a lemon. I thought I'd gotten away with it, but then someone shouted, Hey, who hasn't had their shot? There's still one left. The table looked at each other in a confused silence. Oh, fuck. My little hand went up. Me. And then the chant began. Shot, 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 shot. I hadn't had tequila in 9 years. What went first? The salt, the shot, the lime? I had completely forgotten, and I was centre stage. Roman was in my ear. You don't have to do it. But I did, or they'll all think I'm a loser. Is there ever a time you feel more peer pressure than when you're with your partner's friends? I don't think so. I did some version of a tequila shot. I got a cheer, which I hope meant that I got all their approvals. I will never know for sure though, nor will Roman. It's only if a relationship breaks up when friends tell you how they really feel. It was a bit weird that she just didn't say no to that shot in the 2025 Euro finals. Back in Jaconi's, Sausage, Roman and I were paying the bill. We had got through the meal. There had been no long pauses or side eyes or confessions of secret memberships. At one point, I even left them alone to go to the restroom, and when I came back, they weren't sitting in an awkward silence. As we left the restaurant/examination room, I was pretty certain my best friend approved of my boyfriend. But you can never be sure. Thank you so much for listening to another Quack. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please give it a nice little review on Spotify or Apple, or wherever you are listening to this podcast. And also, you can pre-order my book, Bad Dates Club, which will be coming out in September 2026. Okay, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye!